Good day, everyone, and welcome to Different Stages Radio. I'm your host, JJ, broadcasting in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And my guest today, you know him from the Juno Award-winning Canadian tech death pioneers CRYPTOPSY, who are about to release their 9th studio album, An Insatiable Violence, on June the 20th on Season of Mist. Please welcome the vocalist, the man, Matt McGachy. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you nailed my last name, so thank you for that.
I put in the effort. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you're on the road right now, correct? Like you're highly.
We just finished the show. Yeah, we're on tour in Europe right now with Decapitated, Warbringer, and Carnation. We are in Munich tonight. We just finished the show. Decapitated just played their last notes. I ran out here to the tour bus, and I'm sitting down and talking with you.
Well, I apologize for ruining your evening.
No, it keeps me safe. It keeps me scheduled. I like being scheduled and organized, so it's good.
I'm with you as well. Yeah, you got to have that something that you can be responsible for that keeps you kind of in check.
Correct, as I have one beer here, one beer there, and a cup of Jack there. But yes.
Or in this case, I guess in Switzerland as opposed to in Czech. So you're leaving Switzerland right now?
No, we're in Germany. We're in Germany today. We're going to Switzerland tomorrow.
Awesome. And how's it been going so far?
The tour's been phenomenal. This is the 11th or 12th show. There's been a bunch of sold out shows. The crowds have been amazing. The response to the new material that we're playing a new song on this run, has been phenomenal. People know the words. They're singing the chorus with me. There's big mosh pits. It's been wonderful to get back over here in Europe and in the UK where we started the tour.
So just the one track you're playing so far from Insatiable Violence? Didn't break out the new single that was just
So far, just one track. Yes, it's really difficult for us to change a set list on tour. The
gotcha.
way that our in-ears are set up, it's a complicated switch up. We have played multiple sets in the past when we were out on tour with Death to All, because we were playing 2 nights in each city, and we had 4 set lists on that tour. But it was a bit of a headache and a bit of a mind fuck, so we have decided to just stick to one set list on this tour, and we are playing until there's nothing left, and we shall be playing Malicious Needs in the future, but not on this run, sadly.
Okay. And you mentioned Malicious Needs, which the video was dropped for that yesterday. It's getting quite received. What was the concept and idea behind that?
That whole song is basically the dream that I had, which basically broke out the entire concept of the record. Back in August of 2023, I had the most vivid dream, which I don't normally have vivid dreams like this, but in this instance, I did. And it was about a person that wakes up every day and fixes the machine. They work on it, striving to make it better. And then when night comes around, they strap themselves into this machine, and the machine tortures them, and they love it. And then while they're being tortured, they're like, oh, how can I make this better? So the next day they wake up and they put that into effect and work on the machine and refine the machine so that their torturous experience can be even more pleasurable for them. Up until the point where, sometimes the machine goes too far and almost kills them, and then they got to reel it back a bit so that they can enjoy the pain. Uh, so that's the concept of the record. And we are the people, the person, we are the human race is the person that's fixing the machine, and the machine is social media. So the way that we interact on social media, with social media, the way that social media is built in such a way to torture us, to make us feel like shit. It is built to drain us of our dopamine drip, endorphins. We all create these fallacies that we portray on social media as to who we are, even such as when I'm choosing pictures to post for CRYPTOPSY. If sometimes, the mosh pit is too wide, it looks like there's not a lot of people that we play shows that there's not a lot of people, even though there was a lot of people and it was actually like a sick mosh pit. But because the hole's there, I won't post it. So we're all crafting this illusion of ourselves, this fallacy that we showcase onto the world and aspire. And we sit back once we push post and we watch and we wait for the interaction and we aspire to be relevant and to connect with people and to get engagement. And we torture ourselves if we don't, if it's too much, negative comments. It's never ending. An insatiable violence.
That is so bloody intense. Now I'm almost starting to think that this could almost turn into like a short film or a mini series, just the overall concept of it.
Uh, he was
Yeah.
he was wonderful. So basically, Gornos is this French director, which was suggested to us by Michael from Seasons of Myth, and I basically just sent him that concept of my dream, and then I sent him the lyrics because I wrote a concept album about the dream, but I also wrote a song about the dream because I just thought it was so relevant and brutal, and the rhythmical aspects of that song when they were writing it, which I had written the song beforehand, but when they showed me the tracks of it, I was like, this has to be the song. It's so rhythmical and mechanical, and it's like the machine. So I sent the lyrics and the concept to Gornos, and Gornos took his own little spin on it and made it even more disturbing, involving the sexual aspects to it, and just creating this very, very disturbing and dark Black Mirror-esque dystopian future. We're like two steps away from this being realistic, and I like stuff like that. So he hit it out of the park. It is extremely graphic, the video, and I'm disappointed that we had to censor. We'll see what happens with that in the next few weeks.
Man, but great concept, and for it to come to life in that way. But yeah, that's got to be a bit full circle for you to right now to have that idea and have it really come out on paper and then in the music is got to be pretty chilling.
It's very strange and surreal, and like the album title came to me in the dream, which never happened. So I don't know what to do for the next one. Now I'm stuck.
The pressure's on. The pressure's on. But yeah, back to the record, which I've
The
heard.
pressure's on.
Yeah, the record is just bloody fierce. Things I wrote down were like relentless, fierce with precision. And then, but there's also the groove element, where on the opening cut, is it Nemesis? Adoration.
The Nimbus Adoration.
There we go. The leads on that, just the way it kind of breaks down partway through, I'm like, this is awesome. Like just tasty, tasty leads, like great opening cut. And then further into the record are Great Deception. That I really sunk my teeth in as well. Any specifics that you can give on those tracks, how those came together?
Well, it's basically just more so the whole entity of the record, how it came together, because we wrote it in such a cohesive, short period of time that it led to everything almost bleeding together. There was actually, because we wrote on tour, which is something that we've never done before, because we had this goal. I'm a goal-oriented person, and I put a goal in that we were going to drop a record within 2 years, which forced us to write on tour because we're a band that tours relentlessly. And we did almost 150 shows last year supporting As Gomorrah Burns. So we observe the crowds, what works in a live setting, why do people love Graves of the Fathers? What is it about that song? And it's the digestibility of it. It's so brutal, but it's definitely still digestible because there's parts that come back. There's parts that repeat a little bit longer. There's a lot of groove elements. So those are all things that we were like, this is what the legacy of Cryptopsy entails. Grooviness, melodic sections. There has to be frenzied moments and crazy sections where you're like, what the hell just happened? While staying a cohesive song. So we took that is the legacy part of it that we tried to lean heavily into while writing this new record because we're extremely aware that Cryptopsy has a legacy that we need to honor. We're never going to spit on that legacy again. We've done that in the past. We will not do that again. We're going to embrace it instead. But at the same time, we are musicians. We try to put our mark on things. And we want to stay extremely relevant in 2025. So what we added to the groove, the melody, and the little bit more digestible sections with the crazy parts was a little bit of darkness, an uncomfortableness, a dirtiness, a sense of discomfort, an overwhelming sense of malaise. So a lot of like death metal bands are doing this. We're gonna play black metal riffs now. And then it's when we come back to the death metal riffs, they're gonna be so much heavier. That's not anytime a black metal riff would leak its way into the writing sessions, we would just scrap it and say, no, that's not us. We want something dirtier, something uncomfortable, a more akin to a neurosis vibe is what we wanted to drag into this record. And I feel like we really accomplished it. Definitely on Malicious Needs. It's a really strange song. It's extremely disturbing. But a lot of the other parts too have this weird, dirty ambiance to it. And that's what we were going for.
Very uneasy, like just that sense of uncomfortable. Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. But you touched on about, focusing on, let's say, the roots of Cryptopsy, but also at the same time, it seems that you're wanting to still challenge yourself and reading more as well with Flo as well, wanting to challenge himself, that, you're developing more of with your vocals.
Absolutely. He's constantly pushing. He's constantly learning. He's 50 years old, but he's still pushing himself and learning new techniques, and things are becoming easier that would have been difficult for him 20 years ago. It's the miraculous science of his physicality. For myself as a vocalist, I always get challenged in the studio by my guitarist, who is the producer and genius behind the riffs in Cryptopsy, and he always wants me to scream deeper. So there's always this, hey, you should scream deeper. And then I do at some points, and he's like, so you do that. And I'm like, okay, yes, but I want people to understand what I'm saying. And I'm getting over that obstacle of screaming, but still being completely understandable.
While still being coherent, of course. Now, this is going to be the first.
Exactly.
This will be the first studio album on Season of Mist, correct? Aside from
that is correct. We have signed for another record.
Yeah.
And all the re-releases through them. I've been loving the experience at Season of Mist. I've never felt so embraced and welcomed and encouraged ever before on a record label. We had a good relationship with Nuclear Blast. Charles Elliott from Abysmal Dawns, who signed us, and I love him. But Seasons, the whole team is simple. To the art department, to the digital marketing, to the social team, both presidents, just fantastic. We're really excited to continue this relationship, which is how the relationship started. Is because we wanted a home for Cryptopsy. We owned the rights to a lot of the old records, and we wanted to put them on a home. And we attempted to do that with Nuclear Blast. The deal didn't pan out. So we had a conversation with Michael about doing it with Season. Flo had worked with Season with Ultimass and really enjoyed his experience. We had a deal signed within less than a month. It was very, very easy, and we're really happy there.
And those reissues they've done so far just look spectacular. Starting the reissue series started in November, December, and just carried on.
I agree. Yeah.
Just last month.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Are there more on the horizon? Or?
Yeah, you're missing one, but it's coming.
Oh, which one?
You're missing one, but it's coming. I can't talk about it, but it's coming very soon.
We'll hold off on that.
If you think about it, you'll figure it out, because other people own the rights.
We can put the blank on that. We'll whisper maybe about that later, at some point, perhaps. Maybe.
When you're not recording it.
When you're not recording, exactly. But with the new record, though, Season is putting out formats of that as well, different configurations, different variants. Can you speak of some of those, and where are the smart places for when to get those?
We got to go to Season of Mist's website to pick up all that stuff. What I do love about them is we're a band that tours a lot, and we want vinyls for sale. So they are still an extremely physically based record label, as opposed to some other ones, which I won't name, that I may have been on. When I had asked to order records for previous tours, they did not have any. Or if they did have some, it was very minimal amounts. and it was disappointing. So Season is a physical based label still, which is amazing. And they were awesome with the deal that they cut for us with the re-releases. They gave us our digital. We own our digital still for the re so people should definitely go to Season of Mist, their website, and order all of those physicals and get them because they've done a fantastic job. They're like, "Do you have these art files from 1992?" And we're like, "No, we don't." But they figured it out and they did a great job. They were patient with our lack of database.
But they're team players and they know how to make it happen. Now, I also want to pimp as well, though, that people can get physical product, physical CDs and vinyl of An Insatiable Violence on differentstagesradio.com. So that's another option for you if certain places might be sold out. It's always good to have other places because I'm always about the physical product. It's crucial. I also wanted to talk, though, this
I
switch.
appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah, I also wanted to switch gears, though. I wanted to get some information about your podcast. Your tell people about that aren't familiar with the hops and so forth.
Yeah, it's Vox and Hops.
Yep.
Vox and Hops. I love beer. We're in Germany. I'm drinking a nice Helles. I've loved beer for most of my life. Back in 2018, I started the podcast because my guitarist has a prolific studio job in Montreal. He's worked with everyone from Despised Icon, Beneath the Massacre, The Agonist, Shadow of Intent, Suffocation, Ingested. The list goes on and on. So he has like this prolific career. Ollie had told me in 2018, I'm going to join Cattle Decapitation. And then Flo came to see me and said, "Hey, Matt, we found a new singer for my new project with Rune, the Ultimass, and the new singer is David Vincent." And I was like, "Oh, fuck. I'm going to be jealous of my boys. And it's going to be a problem for me." So I had to find like my way around that to cope with all my boys being really successful. And I didn't want to just be this person that was left out. So I started a podcast. It started just with my friends. The first 100 episodes were just me and my friends in bars, in buses, in vans, in alleys, drinking craft beers, talking about their life, music, and craft beer. And then the pandemic hit, and I started doing a lot more Zoom things. And I'm going to release 500 episodes coming up in the next month or so. And I'm at the point of my life, and I've been tinkering with this idea for the past year that I'm going to release the 500th episode and I'm going to take a break because I feel myself being stretched. The band is very, very busy. I have a new musical project that is coming. I have children, I have family, I have friends, and I love making beers. I love talking to people, but I'm really busy.
And that's when you
So it will probably come back. I will not say goodbye, but I need a break. I feel that I'm not as engaged in it that I need to be.
and to be able to respect that is half the battle of knowing where you're at, knowing that this is a marathon, not a sprint, and being able to pace yourself and doing it because you love to do it, not because you feel obligated to do it. I feel the same way because that's the thing. You want to keep that momentum going, but
There's been times over the years over because I've been doing it for over 6 years now. There's been moments where, I'm sitting and talking with Guar and I'm like, I'm just not into it. It's
yeah.
it's sad because I'm talking to Guar and I should be so into it, but I wasn't. And this is years ago. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start taking breaks. So I started doing like seasons where I would do 3 months, 1 month off, and then come back. And the 1 month always felt great. But the past year I've been looking forward to that month more than I should be.
So now it seems you need that season of mist, perhaps, that you can put it aside for a bit before you get.
Yes, exactly. Just a little bit. I'll come back because I
Yeah.
do like interviewing people. I like hanging out with people. I like podcasts. I listen to pod. That's something I've done over the past year is I listened to a bunch of podcasts, then I started a podcast, and then I stopped listening to podcasts because all my free time went to working on a podcast.
Makes sense. Makes tons of sense. Now, I wanted to know a bit though about some of your beers that so you said you make beer. Like, what are some of your go-to beers?
No, I'm a smart person and I get other people to make me beers.
Oh, good
So
man.
I've released probably between almost 100 beers with the podcast. So I team up with breweries and we come up with these crazy ideas. And the brewers are geniuses and brewers are basically my rock stars. So I hang out with them and I'm in awe and I drink their products. I am still as much, this is really good though. This is a very German Helles. I like drinking lagers and light beers, but I'm still at the bottom of my soul. I'm a haze whore. I like big, stupid double IPAs that taste like fruit juice. I pretend to be a beer nerd,
Yeah.
it's a lie. I like to drink hazy, big double IPAs like everyone else. I do like lagers, I do, but my go-to are big double IPAs. Last tour in the States, I had the pleasure of going to Biden's Brewing in Albany, New York, and that was phenomenal. That was one of the top five easy that I've ever been to.
Nothing though like a good hazy as we get into summer though. That's just hazy season. Uh,
All the time for me. I'm horrible, but
So
yeah.
it could be middle of December in Montreal. You don't care. We're cracking a double, maybe even a triple hazy, and just away we go. Yeah, triple gets pushy.
Nah, triples are a bit too much. Nah, triples are too much, but I think 8.2% is the limit. After that, it just becomes too astringent in my mouth.
And too much of like a cleaning solution, sort of.
Yes, I went to in Vancouver, Superflux.
Oh, they do a very,
Very good.
yeah, that's one of my go-to IPA.
Superflux.
They do
Yeah,
stellar. Just down the
yeah.
street from that, I'll do a selfish plug for Container Brewing a couple blocks away from Superflux. Keep that in mind the next time you're in Vancouver.
Ooh, I have not gone there.
Yes,
And next time we come, we'll go together.
I'll buy you a beer. How about that? We can do a little beer tour because there's tons in that area.
That's I'm down.
Can we
I
leave?
went to 49th parallel or 50.
Okay, yeah, they're okay.
I feel like that's the right number. Something parallel.
49th
I think
parallel.
it's 49.
Yeah,
Maybe
there's
51st.
there
It
actually
is 49. I went
there's
to 49 and
parallel.
I walked
Yeah, there's actually
to
parallel
Superflux.
49,
Yeah.
parallel 49 beer, and then there's 49th parallel coffee. Two different companies, so it's very easy to get them confused, especially if you're not from these parts. It's like, but yeah,
But Superflux is
So when might we see you then on this side of the country that we can go and do such a excursion?
we are we're going to announce something really soon. It's a North American run. We are waiting for some details. It's been in the works for quite some time. It is with an iconic death metal band, and I can't wait to announce it, but I can't talk about it.
So it might be another classic run that said band CRYPTOPSY did maybe, was that 10, 12 years ago with another band called Suffocation, possibly, maybe, we'll see. Because that,
Oh no, that's been whispered
yeah,
for many years, but it's not suffocation. No,
okay, we'll keep in suspense. But that's looking likely for fall then? Looking,
we're doing a fall run. Yes, no, we're going back to Asia. We are announced two shows in Japan. It is the beginning of the All So Vile run, so it's going to be the 30th anniversary of None So Vile next year, and None So Vile is only 35 minutes long, so we're going to split the set up in a way that we're still negotiating at this point, where we'll play all of None So Vile, and then the rest of the set, because we're going to play over an hour, is new era Cryptopsy only.
that's very cool. People would be excited about that, something
And
different.
that's going to be a world tour. I'm working on that right now.
So that says more why you need a break from your podcast. Way too much going on. Well,
Exactly.
I appreciate your time so much, though, today, Matt. It was a pleasure talking with you. I know our connection's a bit stiff today. You're doing your best while you're on the road. I hope the tour is going awesome. By all means, everybody, please go see CRYPTOPSY with Decapitated on this Euro run right now, along with Warbringer and Carnation. Sounds like a pretty kick-ass show. And please also pre-order through Season of Mist directly, or you can get it through differentstagesradio.com. An Insatiable Violence, the brand new CRYPTOPSY album, the 9th studio album, hitting the shelves on June the 20th on Season of Mist. Matt McGachy, decent day, huh? Get some rest.
It was a good day. It was a good day. I woke up in the morning and I was here. They fed us breakfast. They fed us supper. They're going to give us after show food backstage in Munich, one of the best venues out there. Plus, they got these delicious Hellas.
Beautiful. This is Different Stages Radio.